I am also a lifelong Elgin person, Elginite. I was born and raised here in Elgin, went through the Elgin schools. My mom was a school nurse at Elgin for 29 years. My wife is a teacher at the high school for 18 years now. I have two boys, one in 7th grade and one in 10th grade. I have decided to run or gotten involved because there's a whole lot of things. One of the biggest things I guess I'm going to tell you is holding people accountable, but teacher retention. Our teacher retention is not good at all. My big deal, and I've told everybody over and over, if we can keep our teachers happy, it's going to fix a whole lot of problems. If your teacher is happy, if the teacher's happy, they don't mind staying a few minutes extra to do a little bit of work here, or do this, do that, cover, something. But I've asked numerous times about teacher retention, and it's, we're just a stepping stone here in Elgin, and I don't believe that. When I went to school here, when I graduated here, this is where teachers came to die. It just was. We had teachers that came here, they got here. I could sit there and tell you that my teachers had been there for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And so that's what Elgin used to be. Teachers came here, they came here to die. And so we do not have that anymore. I do feel like and really do believe that Elgin still does have a good school. I don't sit there and go, man, this is a horrible school district and everything is wrong. There's a lot of things that are really, really good about our schools, but we need to do a whole lot of work to get them and cover that gap. The one thing you made the comment about taking that free money. I've had a problem with a lot of our school district taking a lot of free money. I had a conversation a few years ago. I talked to a lot of teachers. My wife's a teacher. I talked to a lot of teachers. I got kids. I'm going to talk to the teachers. And at the time, I had some teachers telling me that they couldn't put kids in alternative school. And so why these kids were doing A, B, and C has always been a violation and been put in alternative school. They couldn't put them in alternative school. So I asked our superintendent, I said, why are they not putting kids in an alternative school? And she said, well, we've gotten our hands slapped by the state. I said, what are you talking about? Well, we've gotten our hands slapped. I said, I don't care if they punch us in the face. If a kid should be in alternative school, they should be in alternative school. She said, well, that's the problem is our number of our minorities are higher in alternative schools, so we can't put them in there. I said, so let's just go ahead and take minorities out. If we have 1,000 purple people and we have only 400 orange people, we're going to have more purple people in alternative. She said, well, that's not the case. Our minority, the black community, is very small numbers in our schools, and we have the most black people in alternative school. And she said, so there's a problem there, and so we can't put them in. So I said, so if we put more white kids in there, y'all can put more black kids in there? Well, yeah. I said, well, until the state punches us in the face, we should put every kid that deserves to be in alternative school in alternative school. So I'm with you on that, taking that money, because there's a lot of strings attached to that. I think you're about to ask me, what do I want to see in a superintendent? So I'm going to say what I'm hoping for in that superintendent is definitely experience. I do think it is very important to have a superintendent that has worked in a school district like our school district. It is very, very different. Every one of them is different. The superintendent that's worked at McDade is not going to be the superintendent that works here. The superintendent that works for Round Rock is not going to be ready to work here either. So I agree with that, but I want a superintendent that connects with these kids. I already mentioned that I have an uncle that's a coach in Giddings. That coach knows every kid that plays football. He knows every girl on the dance team. He knows every band member in the band. He knows the one-act play and who's playing whoever in the one-act play. And that's what I want, is I want a superintendent that knows every kid that's going on. Granted, we're bigger than Giddings, but that's what I'm looking for. So, any questions? Yes, sir.
You said there, as far as the teacher retention,
Yes, sir.
you need to keep them happy or whatever. What are the things that you think will keep them happy? And what are some of the things that are causing them to leave?
Support. I'll tell you now, I'm going to tell you from my wife. My wife would tell you I have no problem with the kids whatsoever. And all of y'all are going to sit there and go, oh my God, the kids these days. My wife's been doing it for 18 years. She has no problem with the kids. She has more problems with the stuff that's at the administration building and with the parents. So that's what she has the problem with. She tries to do a PO and it takes her 3 days to do a PO. And so that kind of stuff. I mean, it's one of those deals. I don't know, and I don't know how to fix it, but I'm just telling you, why is she having to do a PO? She's a teacher. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff. I do feel like teachers need to feel supported. I feel like that if they send a kid to the office, they should handle it, take care of it. I think we've lost a lot of discipline. I'm not going to tell you as a school board member I can take care of discipline because I don't know what I can and can't do. I don't know, you made the comment that we don't walk in there with our agenda. Can we do that? I have no idea. I'm gonna find that out. But if I want to talk about this, let's talk about this because I want to talk about this. Why are we not doing?
Bring it to the agenda.
Why are we not doing this? I've got teachers at the high school. There's kids. What they're doing now, and I would love for y'all to go take a look because I've had them tell them, not just my wife. My wife is in the ag building. There's not a whole lot of issues. But I've got the other English teachers. They send kids out in the hall. That's what they do is just send them out in the hall and they let them sit out in the hall because they're not disturbing the class. So I just assume send them in the hall because if I send them to the office now, that's going to take forever and it's not going to work out. It's not going to get anything accomplished. So now I just ask them to please go outside right quick. They go sit down on the phone and start playing on their phone in the hall. So they're happy as can be. But hey, teacher doesn't have to worry about that one now. So that's the kind of stuff. I want to bring back discipline. I'm big on discipline. I think kids need discipline. I think kids want discipline. I've had conversations with Dr. Duran a few years ago. We did coffee and donuts, and she made the comment. She said that she had talked to all the principals, and that no one wanted. I asked who wants to paddle kids, and as you can imagine, no one wants to paddle our kids. And I said, well, I raised my hand. I said, I guess I'm just stupid. I don't understand why does no one want to paddle our kids. And I said, I don't think anybody gets their kicks and jollies off of doing it, but I don't understand. And she said, well, the legal ramifications. I said, well, is it against the law in the United States? No. Is it against the law in Texas? No. Is it against the law in Bastrop County? No. She said, it's actually still in our handbook that we do corporal punishment, but the legal ramification. I said, well, I don't understand because if it's not against the law, I don't understand. And so there's a whole lot of things that will be shown to me that I don't understand.
So, my appreciation of the school board is that you can hire a private superintendent and share all those things with him or her, and it's up to them to execute and make it happen. So to me, that's how you make a difference. Having said that, lost my train of thought, excuse me. Oh. Jeez.
I do it all the time.
The ratings in the school district.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on how to bring those up? I've heard from different speakers that they're less than ideal. Your thoughts?
Yes, sir. So going back to the whole, man, I've been here forever. So how long have you been here, Jennifer?
5 years.
5 years. Do you know BTW was the best school in Elgin?
Did you know that?
It was. The school board at that time when they did it, because it was Elgin Primary School, and they ended up splitting it up, and they had made Neidig. So what they did is they were going to make that 3 different elementaries. The man told me, now I can't sit there and say for sure, but he was the president at the time, and he said that he wanted to send the best teachers and the best principals to BTW because it was looked upon so badly. So that's what he did, is they put all the best teachers. And so when my kids started there, it was the greatest school. the best ones that were there. I am still disappointed. We had one of the greatest principals there, Miss Virginia Cotter. And I don't really know what happened there, but I know she was moved to the administration building, and in December she left. The woman that she replaced her was not a nice person. She wasn't a good person. The woman passed out in her car at the red light. Yeah, so I do think getting the right people in the right positions, and like I said, just in a matter of 2 years, that BTW went from the best school to the worst school, and really and truthfully, the only thing that changed was one person. So I think that you could fix that school probably getting the right person. I do not know who's the principal there, and I'm not bad mouthing her, but I do think that a person could get the right person in that school. I think that's where it starts.
It's not just BTW, I think all 3 elementary schools have either F or E ratings.
Yeah.
So it's not just BTW.
Right. And I'll be the first to tell you too, the rating is important. It is very important, and something needs to be done. But so much of that rating is on that test score and stuff, and that test, it sucks. I mean, there's nothing.
No, I agree.
But
I think we should get rid of it.
right.
But my biggest concern too is we're talking about population growth and all this kind of stuff. People are not going to send their kids to BTW. People in my neighborhood do not send their kids to Elgin. They send them to private school. They drive them to Thrall. They drive them to Giddings.
Yeah, if we can make these questions from the audience, that'd be great. I hear you.
That's just my concern is we're going to have this explosion, but no one's going to.
Right.
Well, I think I want to say a couple things. I work at the high school, and I'm on the 100 hallway where all the English teachers are, and there's as many as 30 kids sitting out in the hall at any time of the day. So I just wanted to back up that statement that you said. They just send them out in the hall and everything. Okay, that's fine. But why aren't they being dealt with? Whatever the issue is, they're disrupting the classes and so forth. Why aren't this being addressed? Instead, we kind of, okay, I'm sitting out in the hall. Well, okay, that's fine. But our discipline needs to be reshaped. Because we are enabling bad behavior, and when they get out into the real world, it's going to reflect in their life, and it's not going to be good for them.
And then Elgin.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for them to get out there and, curse out a police officer the first time they get pulled over.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Looks like Wayne Weber.